On May 23, 1918, in New Orleans, Joseph Maggio and his wife Catherine were sleeping when someone entered their home with an axe, owned by the Maggio family, and a straight razor, also owned by the Maggio family. The intruders slit their throats and then proceeded to bash their heads in with the axe. 2 hours later, Joe's brother found the bodies. Most impressively, Joe Maggio had survived until mere minutes after Andrew and Jake Maggio found him. Andrew quickly became the prime suspect, as he not only lived with Joe and Catherine, but that straight razor used in the killing was his. In the early morning of June 27, 1918, Louis Bessemer and his mistress would be attacked. An intruder with one of Bessemer's own axes. His mistress, Harriet Lowe, was severely injured, barely conscious, and in a delirium. She did name Bessemer as an attacker, and the investigation found letters written in Yiddish and Russian sent and received from Bessemer's store. They believed him to be a spy for the Kaiser, and his killing related to, spy stuff? The geniuses in charge of this playdate for the intellectually inept called an investigation gave no evidence to show that Bessemer actually crushed his own skull, but he was let go and lived, unlike the battered Lowe. On August 5th, Anna Schneider, an 8-month pregnant woman, was attacked. She somehow lived and gave birth to what must be the United States' only axe baby, and the next victims were found by a baker, which I can only imagine went like,
Hey, knock knock, I got you. Oh my god!
you'll never guess in what way these murders occurred. 1 makes an incident, 2 makes a coincidence, 3, however, is a pattern. 12, on the other hand, marks a serious issue, and the police couldn't keep that a secret forever. I also am not going to keep secrets. I and many others have explained this already, and true crime always performs like complete and utter monetization, so I'm kind of sick of it. So if you want the whole detailed list of victims, check the Ultimate True Crime Iceberg series, link up above, or because everyone and their mother likes true crime, one of the thousands of other videos on this. Now that you have that context, let's talk about what makes a serial killer so absurd. His love for jazz. Might sound absolutely bizarre, but what really makes this obnoxious...
Susan, we can talk about this.
What makes this guy memorable is the strange letters he or someone claiming to be him sent the police. Hell, March 13th, 1919. Esteemed mortal, they have never caught me, and they never will. They have never seen me, for I am invisible. Even as the ether that surrounds your earth, I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axman. When I see fit, I shall come and claim other victims. I alone know whom they shall be. I shall leave no clue except my bloody axe, besmeared with blood and brains of he who I have sent below to keep me company. I wish you may tell the police to be careful not to rile me. Of course, I am a reasonable spirit. I take no offense at the way they have conducted their investigations in the past. In fact, they have been so utterly stupid as to not only amuse me, but His Satanic Majesty, France of Joseph, etc. But tell them to beware. Let them not try to discover what I am, for it were better that they were never born than incur the wrath of the Axeman. I don't think there's any need of such a warning, for I feel sure the police will always dodge me, as they have in the past. They are wise, and know how to keep away from all harm. Undoubtedly, you Orleanians think of me as a most horrible murderer, which I am, but I could be much worse if I wanted to. If I wished, I could pay a visit to your city every night. At will, I could slay thousands of your best citizens, for I am in close relationship with the Angel of Death. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time, on next Tuesday night, I'm going to pass over New Orleans. In my infinite mercy, I'm going to make a little proposition to you people. Here it is. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time I have just mentioned. If everyone has a jazz band going, well then so much the better for you people. One thing is certain, and that is some of your people who do not jazz it out on that specific Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe. Well, as I am cold and crave the warmth of my native Tartarus, and it is about time I leave your earthly home, I will cease my discourse, hoping that thou wilt publish this, that it may go well with thee. I have been, am, and will be the worst spirit that ever existed, in fact or realm of fantasy, the Axman. Wow, this guy clearly never knew what George Bush was about to do. There's a lot to unpack here. Like, most of all, Francis Joseph being Satan. No one, and I mean no one, ever touches upon this little fact. I do not, just for the life of me, understand what King Francis Joseph I of Austria even did to be called that. What made the serial killer just decide, yeah, this guy's literally the embodiment of evil? Not to mention jazz it out. Who the fuck? That sounds like a phrase for ejaculate. Now, it is said on the fateful night that the Axeman was to fly over the city menacingly, that every house was playing jazz, and those that weren't went to clubs, bars, and restaurants to escape his wrath. After this act of trolling, the murders trailed off and sputtered out, the Axeman going away uncaught forever. There's a handful of theories on who this guy might have been. Psych. There's like one potential suspect, because those involved with the crimes were ruled out. Andrew Maggio was arrested, and then the Axeman struck again. Bessemer was suspected, but anyone who wasn't thrown at the wall full force as an infant could tell you why the barely clinging to life guy couldn't have done it. So who? After an absurd amount of fighting with Google to give me the right results following a lead I definitely did not hear in a BuzzFeed Unsolved video, I at last unearthed Joseph Mumfrey. Joe was a pretty simple guy, leader of a blackmailing ring who targeted Italian grocers, which is really weird. How do you even stumble upon that as a profitable business venture?
Hey, Mr. Maggio, Dirty Lenny and Bicycle Michael saw you porking a prostitute in the French Quarter. Sure would be a shame if your wife found out, huh? Am I nude under this outfit? That's for me to know, and you to be afraid of. Now, where's the goddamn money?
Now, Mumfrey's ring ran at the same time as the Axe murders and stopped when he dipped out west to evade legal trouble. Once you get easy money, though, you want to keep easy money, and he got back on the criminal grind set. Out in California, he would widow a woman, potentially for the second time. Mrs. Pepitone, survivor of the Axeman, was threatened by Mumfrey when he broke into her house to rob her. He said, "I will widow you again," and then she shot him 8 times. So he's clearly implying he would kill her husband again, however it didn't end well for Mr. Eats Lead there. And this theory makes much more sense than bro is just a demon. Either way, this mystery remains unsolved. I think it's just absolutely hilarious, though, how a guy with a 50-50 kill rate with an axe when his victims are sleeping is like, but I could kill thousands if I so pleased. Totally, man, totally. Of course, this mystery likely never will be solved just because of how long it's been since the Axeman killings happened. It just makes it very easy for some dudes on the internet to look back and be like, what an idiot. So, we're at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new here, go ahead and just subscribe. It's completely free, you can always undo it later. I say the same thing in literally every outro, so if you're not new here, you know what I'm about to say at this point. Thank you to my, at the time of recording, 4 patrons: AJ, David Height, That's Insane Henry, and Sumi. It is with your guys' help I am able to do cool stuff like eat, because you need money to exist nowadays. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is going on with this video series? It is, surprise, an iceberg. That's right, you just watched an iceberg explained video. This is the 1000 entry Unsolved Mysteries iceberg. This is entry, let me count, this is entry 13 of 1000. If you like semi-daily uploads, provided my life does not become a train wreck and no personal tragedy happens. Go ahead and, once again, just subscribe, because I am covering this entire thing. There's an entire playlist now with all of the videos beforehand up in there. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time. And until next time, I'll see you tomorrow. Memento Mori.